And here we go. Luminosity versus Liquid. Let's get right into it. Liquid starting off on the CT side. Luminosity will be on the T side, and I'll let you quickly go over the intricacies of the knife round that always do come out through. I don't really know how much this is going to be affecting the outcome of this, but CT, T side, how do you see Liquid wanting to take this forward?
Well, on cash, it's not a massive deal. Like, it's really dependent on how the T's want to approach the mid control. That's the big element of watching cash, and whether or not you want to pick either side. It's dependent on, how the T's want to approach mid will be the deciding factor. And we see Nitro in the chat saying that he wanted T. And so that's pretty characteristic of Team Liquid. They're a very default-centric side that really likes playing it slow early in the round, spreading out in their default, and then generally transitioning into taking important areas of the map, like mid on cash. So it makes a lot of sense for them to pick the T side here.
So you mentioned earlier on that Liquid's cash is a little bit weak, perhaps, and they have had a difficult time actually transitioning towards it. But what should be even more interesting is how will Zeus be playing on a map like Cash? Because on Mirage, we've seen him actually play up towards that B side, an area which doesn't see that much action traditionally, unless of course it's Gold Zero up against Liquid in the semifinals of MLG Columbus. But besides that, we don't generally see that much action going on in that B side. What's that spot that Zeus needs to play right now over here on the side of Liquid?
Well, yeah, no. So it's actually really interesting that they're on Cash, because Cash is not a map that's really forgiving for stand-ins, generally speaking, because of how the rotations work on the map. Individuals are pretty much always put under the pump to find the important trade frags or to get the quick rotations between sites, especially when you're playing on CT side. So there actually won't be a lot of room for Zeus to hide here. And the other big reason is because on CT side, the CTs are, if the Ts take important areas of the map like mid, as I'm sort of highlighting here, then it's really on the CTs to try and take B main or take A main and really try to trade map pressure with the Ts. And so if you're even on the B side and you're trying to like hide, if you need to get that like sort of trade of map pressure, then you're put on the spot to find that kill or to find that like confident play. So there won't be much room for Zeus to hide here, actually.
Well, that should be something to keep an eye out for. But right now, let's get right into the pistol round. Luminosity starting off on the CT side. They're not actually going to be going for a single kit across the board. While Liquid, they are going for something a little bit more on the essence of they do have one set of utility on Nitro. But Luminosity with the kit, a very bold decision to make.
Yeah, no, it's probably just going to be something sort of fast from Liquid here. Wouldn't be unsurprising, or if it's not fast, at least just something together. But it looks like, as I was sort of saying before, that it's going to be a classic cheeky Liquid strat here, but it's the actual counter boost from Cello.
And Shell's going to be able to find them early on, but Twist returns and he drops down for a second. Yell's found one on Zeus on the other side of the map, and PKL will be able to quickly equalize the score in a 3-3. Now it's up to Luminosity to go for the rotate back in towards that B side. Showtime already there, waiting for the cross to come through. He's got one, could go for the second, but Twist jumping up, dodges all the bullets, and will be able to go for the bomb plant.
That was actually such a sick mid-round call from Liquid here, but they're going to have to find the important frag, and Twist can't find it. Yeah, so there's a lot of pressure on Twist and JDM to find those frags there, because the whole idea of that strat was to have the 3-man on counter boost so they can quickly react to any information that they get in the mid-round. And we saw that when the counter boost came from LG, they were able to like sort of quickly adapt, get over boost into vents, and they had the other man at A main sort of faking there. So that was actually a really cool strat from Liquid on the pistol. But if you don't hit your shots, then we see the result of that.
And I mean, we saw Showtime doing just that, hitting those shots, 3 quick kills, 2 clean headshots to clean that one out as well, just feeling so confident. And that's been the story of Luminosity so far, with their confidence being what has allowed them to get quite a bit done. And Showtime showing that off right there. And then now we're heading into the next round with Liquid going for almost a complete save with a couple of deagles here or there, but no actual investment into armor. So perhaps hoping for a little bit more utility moving into the next one.
Interesting that Zeus has the deagle and not Elige. Elige has some pretty filthy deagles when you give him it. So maybe the coach feeling a bit brash with his deco play, as they say. But just to touch on a thing in the pistol that was really cool there was that Showtime was actually anchoring the site, and he had to hit some really important shots. And so maybe we'll see him anchor B a bit more for LG. That could be a cool narrative that could emerge in this game.
Indeed, it could be, but Shallow right now, he's found 2 kills for himself, getting that money up, but Twist is there, quick to respond, brings him down, but really how much more can they do? Yell, holding over towards that A main side, might be reacquainted with Nitro very soon if he wants to continue that push forward, but Nitro just seems so indecisive playing up on the boosted spot, hoping to get someone walking into his crosshair. Eventually, the teams will have to just run into PKL's crosshair, and that's what we're seeing happening right now. Nitro takes a fall. PKL might be able to finish things off and leaves. There's the deagle you talked about.
Yeah, and I think that's a really cool thing when you're watching these lower tiered sides is how they approach things like the anti-eco, because it's often like not really practice thing when you're talking about teams that need so much sort of polish in other areas. They often neglect things like the anti-eco, so you can really see the difference between elite sides in situations like that.
And I mean, that's something that we commended Nip for a lot back in the day where Threat initially joined, that anti-eco prowess. But right now, let's head into the first gun round, as it is going to be Liquid, who have picked up 4 rifles and a single SMG for Nitro to be able to help him get a bit more utility. But Luminosity is there to respond. They've got the smokes, they've got the flashes ready. Nice little aggressive setup, hoping to be able to catch out a few people early on.
No, that was a really good punish onto Liquid's early default. They've actually probably researched Liquid a bit there, because as we're seeing, Liquid are just slowly defaulting early in the round, and LG actually punished that. They get some map control early on and actually allowed to get a double boost into Shroud there. That's a really, really big play early on. I'm very, very curious to see how Liquid deal with this, because this is a super uncommon setup. And we actually see Cello also anchoring, oh, not anchoring, so he's playing back checkers. This is a really strange CT setup from Liquid, from LG here. And Liquid are doing their standard Liquid thing, defaulting and taking mid, but let's see what happens.
And on the T side, they've actually found quite a bit of ground towards the highway area, so perhaps this boost won't be as effective as it was seemingly preparing more towards that. Oh, never mind, it finds Nitro at least, who was coming out through Squeaky. Neckers finds a second as well, but Twist is there to respond. He has dropped down on the second player. No, never mind. Yell's still up on top, and he will be able to find one more shot. PKL cleans things up with 2 more.
What a massive hold from PKL there. That opening kill onto Nitro was massive because it removes one arm of the A split from Liquid late. And we see the double boost actually working super well to stop the highway push from Liquid there. That was a really, really, really cool setup from LG on the CT side of Cash, actually. That's very, very impressive stuff.
Of course, I mean, that early map control, that did allow them to be able to get the double boost, as you said. But what was also interesting to see was perhaps Liquid getting a little bit of a read, as they did go over towards that pincer style strategy instead, with a couple of players heading up highway instead of just having all of them go down A main. And despite losing out map control early on, there still was quite a bit that they could have done from that angle if PKL and Yell hadn't just stepped up massively over there. Liquid perhaps weren't expecting the 2 players who were boosted up. Now, it's just going to be an anti-eco. Neck is cleaning things up pretty easily. Money in the bank for him.
Yeah, and so we'll see, because that's often like how a team like LG can upset these, sort of higher tiered NA teams, is by making these more like novel setups work and not having to really contest with Liquid on like an individual level or on a massively complex macro level. It's really focusing on trying to sneak out some really key rounds like that, because winning the pistol, winning the first gun round, and then having a really clean anti-eco is a big positive for LG's CT side early on. And it'll be interesting to see if Liquid decide to stick with their default and continue to transition off the default and take mid, or if they're going to try and disrespect LG a bit here. Maybe just do something fast towards B, or maybe try to take mid a bit faster. I'm very curious to see what they do. And we see actually someone missing a smoke there. So maybe this mid take might not be as effective for LG now. And there's the counter smoke to stop the molly on boost. So fast mid take here, change of pace from Liquid. But I think
there are 2 players down in mid. That's Cello and Co. Neckers has found one, but the information is gone. Cello doesn't care because he's turning around with 2 more. Twist does trade at the end of the day, but Zeus will be the last fatality.
Dude, what a hold from Neckers right there. LG actually managed to stave off that fast mid pressure from LG. I think the smoke missed. I don't know who missed the smoke, but I don't think it was actually that big of a deal in the round. But what a sick hold from LG, man. This game could get super interesting here. LG CT side is looking strong, really strong. And I have a quick question for you, T-Time. And that is...
Well, you can hold that question for just a second, because we've got potentially a rush coming through. It's 5 players stacked over towards that B side. They're ready with a little bit of utility as well. And Molotov in the hands of JDM, as he's going to quickly throw that one out. One to the side. They go, but they're being massacred. Showtime's found 1, makes it 2. He might just be going for the triple, as he is still back in the side, repositions himself to be able to back up his teammates. But Neckers and Cello have already showed up big. finding a few more kills, and Liquid only able to take one gun away from the hands of Luminosity.
Yeah, again, another fast rotate, some more great mid pressure from LG. This I'm interested to see what Liquid decide to do and how they're going to deal with this this sort of assertive map pressure from LG. You know, they're not feeling afraid for having to contest with Liquid in these key areas of the map. We saw them take this map control early on, and they're not showing Liquid a lot of respect. But Lee's trying to get out fast for a pick, isn't given it though. And so we see Liquid tempted to make some more.
Coming through from Cello. Nicely done. And he finds one, makes it.
Second.
Twist just got the wrong end of the stick, and it might be the third. And Leash finally gets it down, but quite a bit of red has been coloring up his body as he's down to 19 and now in a 3 versus 4. Yell still in possession of the AWP. This bomb cannot make its way over, but oh no, Elish. That grenade from the back of B side, able to bring him down, and that just seems like Luminosity is massacring Liquid right now. And Zeus,
that's more of the novel setups we're talking about.
Absolutely. I mean, they're going for a few tricky players here or there, but JDM, he's got tricky himself. Gets the boost up, takes down Neckers, and that might be a quick take over towards that A main area where PKL is waiting. Flashbangs out, peeks out, but JDM, despite not being flashed up, will not be able to get the shot, and PKL punishes that, leaves Zeus alone versus 3. It will be a difficult one as he does have smoke still covering up his pathway forward, but the coach of Team Liquid, now the player, will be reacquainted with the ground as Showtime buries him.
So that was a really cool setup from LG there. And we saw Cello get a bit aggressive trying to hunt for that third kill onto Elige, maybe a bit of overconfidence, but it was still a 6-6 shot for him to find that second kill onto the man trying to trade him out. Really great awareness there. And we also saw some really great individual decision-making from PKL in A main. LG are here to play today. Liquid will have a big task on their hands to try and deal with this really confident and aware Brazilian side.
And well, that confidence is not unfounded because you look at how they've been performing so far, and my oh my, I would be confident in their shoes. Gotcha. I mean, I don't know what I'd be like in their shoes. I'm not really good enough to even imagine that. Daydreaming is more like, yes, maybe I'll hit Master Guardian one day. But forget Master Guardians because we've got a game on our hands. PKL sitting over in NBK, waiting for the push to come through from Liquid. They are using utility to try and flush him out, but he's still in a consequential position. He will be able to find one. JDM not quite able to trade it out. Neckers is the man to step up over from behind. Red Box tries to rotate over to Forklift and take down the play in Squeaky, but Nitro will get the better of him. That leaves things in a 2 versus 2. Nitro and Twist getting the bomb plant down. It will be all up to the player in the Squeaky as he throws a flashbang out. Showtime will not be caught by it, but he will be revealed. Cello coming in from the back line, sees Nitro, takes him down, and it's a double assassination as Cello and Showtime will reclaim the site. Perfect execution coming out from him.
Really, really nice job by LG there. That was a massive kill for Cello to find onto Nitro. That was the one that would have decided the retake for LG there. Man, LG are really, really impressing me with their CT side play. They're being super quick with their rotations, assertive with getting map control. We saw their 2 B main players push as they were coming, as their A main players were coming, that it was going to be fast A play. Yeah, LG are really, really impressing me with their CT side play so far. And the double AWP coming out from LG as well. Let's see how they use this. Cello's getting aggressive in B main, going for the pick onto Zeus. Oh, and he misses the shot. Zeus is so lucky to get away with his life right there, and he actually swaps it for Showtime.
And now it is the same default that we were talking about early on. Liquid says, you know what, let's calm things down. Let's see if we can get a few slow pickoffs. But Neckers has been so incredibly effective so far against the rushes. And right now, Nitro will be able to find the first. Yell returns it, but Neckers down in mid. Flashed up, needs to be taken down before Liquid find their doom over there. Cello, though, look at this. He's boosting up through vents, wants to try and get the flank out onto Elige, who is already all the way through the Z connector. It's a 3 versus 3 rather, but the bomb has not quite made its decision on where it wants to go. It's indicating its route towards that A side, and Yell might just be caught out because Elige is coming out from the back lines. He does not expect this whatsoever.
The timing.
Oh no.
Oh, dude, that's so rough for Elige. That's so rough. Liquid are going to be kicking themselves right there for that timing. That's just really unfortunate. They can still win this round. Oh, Zeus can't find the entry.
Takes down Zeus, and now Nitro's fully flashed up, and that means Yell with his AWP will get that shot any day of the week. What a performance coming out from Luminosity. They are steamrolling Liquid, who will finally have the money to be able to buy it, but it's a weak buy coming through JDM not having the AWP.
No, and we saw the double AWP being pushed really aggressively by LG on that CT side. Yell pushed into A main, and then Cello had the spawn, so he went for the B main pick. Yeah, man. LG are being so assertive and aggressive with their CT side play, and it's so exciting to watch. But Liquid tried to trade it back. Nitro. Oh!
Nitro.
The double entry from Nitro.
And that's exactly what they needed. If they can't get this round away, then what in the world are they going to get? Cello is there though to return. What in the world was that? Ungodly spray transfer, flicks to the head of Nitro as well. It makes it a quick 3, and that means Zeus and JDM are quivering in their boots as they try and make their way over towards that B side. Showtime ready and waiting with the AWP, hoping to get a quick pick before he rotates over, but Zeus will not be able to get the flick. He gets a spot, but it doesn't matter because Showtime has got the shot, and JDM left alone versus 3. He's got to play this so smart, but unfortunately no amount of intelligence can help you when PKL is coming through with the flank. 10 to none. Liquid, despite a heroic double entry coming out from Nitro, an immediate response from Cello, 3 kills to practically seal the fate of Liquid there and then, and we see a pause coming through, and my oh my, do they need one.
Yeah, if I wanted to walk in anyone's shoes from this server, it would be Cello's shoes, because he is wearing... God knows what he's wearing, but whatever he's wearing, it's making him frag, because that was such an absurd 3K from him. He is playing with so much confidence right now, and that's what we talk about with these Brazilian teams. When you give them a bit of momentum, you give them space, and you give them confidence against a side that might be floundering and might be lacking the motivation to try and dig deep in a game like this in Liquid. We're seeing the result of it. And it's not just Cello either. It's literally everyone on LG to a degree coming up. Even Nekaz, who's going 10-7, had that one big round where he was able to stave off the A push. This is a well-rounded, very aware, dynamic, aggressive CT side coming out from LG, and it's absolutely dominating Liquid. They had no idea what they're in store for, and it's showing big time in this match.
I think that could be summing up the entirety of what is happening in this map. Liquid have no idea. And quite frankly, neither do we. We predicted something of a more even matchup. And although we said that a better should maybe go for Luminosity, we were not expecting this in the slightest. The 10-0 scoreline, not something that we almost ever see. And now with the half buy coming out from Liquid, what can they really hope for in this round?
Well, it's the boost from Yell over at Quad. This is a really uncommon boost. It's such a tough angle to clear unless you have the molly, which Liquid don't. And so this is actually really, really smart anti-eco setup when you're running the double AWP, because we're seeing they're not going aggressive with the AWP. They're not getting careless with the expensive weapons, and you'll probably find the pick here. The shoulder peek.
A
Liege. Such a sick play. And actually some good utility usage coming out from PKL there. He just needs to survive, but he doesn't. Nitro finds the entry.
Makes it 2, and that's what he did before as well. Showtime now very quickly making his way around the clock, as it will be Squeaky that is his destination. 2 versus 4 now brought down to a 2v3, and JDM might just be the one to quickly turn into a 1, where Showtime has to be the one to step things up, but Elige with the CZ will get that round any day of the week. And I say any day of the week, this is the first round Liquid have been able to get on the board. And you were talking about how effective that boost is, but I think Liquid perhaps getting a little bit lucky in both senses that Elige was able to get that phenomenal kill where Yell, was it Yell or Showtime? Showtime?
No, so Yell was boosted on top of Quad, but he actually didn't.
So Yell missed the shot.
Absolutely. Well, no, he actually got up on top of Quad as opposed to staying on the boost. And so when Elige shoulder peaked, like Yell was sort of out of position there. But it was actually a massive shoulder peak from Elige, which almost sort of won them that round if it wasn't for Nitro's sick double entry, which was the highlight of that round for Liquid right there.
Absolutely. I mean, Nitro's been doing it. I mean, before as well, we saw the double entry into the mid. Of course, Keller was able to return that in a ridiculous fashion. But now Liquid, they have to win this round out. Otherwise, they might be a little bit low on money. They'll still have a little bit because they did win out the half-buy round. So they were able to pick up a few guns, upgrade their pistol somewhat. But Zeus blinded up, and JDM will find the kill onto it. Showtime on the other side of the map.
Yeah, so we're going to see how Cello operates as the anchor on the B side here, because they lose a man early, LG. And this is one of the first rounds on CT side where Liquid have actually been able to punish LG's aggression from their default. Liquid are being a bit more steadfast in their default this round, and so we're going to see how LG responds from behind right here, because it's not easy to hold on to map control in a 4v5 like this. And we see Nekaz pushing into Warehouse, making a play behind a flash, trying to find JDM, and JDM ready. Yeah, nice. Well done by JDM there. And so this is going to be a really tough round for LG to win now. This is the default from Liquid, punishing the aggression from LG, and let's see what they do.
And utility starts to rain. PKL has to rain bullets. He turns around to the right position, pulls out the gun, but he needs to look the other way. was waiting for the flash to come through, but it was never a flash. It was just the bullets from Elise's gun, shutting him down, leaving Kello alone versus 5. And I would still hope that he goes to try and find a couple of kills. Their economy is ridiculously... Actually, never mind. Their economy no longer that stable after losing out on the double op round. It always is very damaging, and you see Yell and Neck is down on their money. So perhaps you even see Kello playing a little bit more conservatively in this round.
Yeah, and it was big for Liquid to obviously win that, so they don't get their economy reset either.
Conservatism isn't in his dictionary.
Yeah, no, God, no. Let's see. No, can't save the guns, but that's okay. That was really, really classy round from Liquid right there, sort of showing their experience being able to transition off the default. They actually did a really cool highway smoke there, which isolated the two A players and really forced them to make a play, which they couldn't. And we saw PKL got caught out turning the wrong way around. So a bit unfortunate for the LG player right there, but let's see what Liquid decide to do, whether they want to stick in this default or do something a bit faster this round. And by the looks of things, faster it is. They're pushing A main a lot harder, and it looks like it'll actually be Zeus, who for a couple rounds in a row has been sent to find the entry, but hasn't been finding a lot of success, and it's been really on Nitro and
wait for it. PKL with the flashbang on the 3, but can't get it done. There you go. Zeus does exactly what you were waiting for him to do. Finds the entry. PKL goes down. Yell, the next to fall, and Neckers will make it a trio of CT's dead on the floor. Now Luminosity might just make the call to save, and that's exactly what they're doing. That leaves us a little bit more time to talk about what you were discussing. I will say, though, Liquid, I do like the adjustment from them when they realize that the default will probably have forced Luminosity to play a little bit more passive on their CT side. They very quickly change things up and make it a little bit more of a rushed play. Kello will be able to find one more, as Zeus was on the...
They need to save these guns. It's big. That's big for them to go down. Liquid will obviously hunt for this because LG's economy isn't that great. But yeah, we see Liquid changing things up, playing their T side as they should. And PKL was it that got a bit aggressive in A main there and wasn't really sort of any structured aggression. It was actually
a very good flash onto 3 people though.
Yeah, no, it was, but it wasn't.
Got the kill blind, which was a little bit misfortunate considering that's the second kill of the game. Yeah,
but it was a good punish by Zeus. You're 100% right. Good punish by Zeus. And then let's see what the decos from LG will come out here with PKL utilizing the scout over at A. And let's see what Liquid do on this anti-eco as well.
Absolutely, and we see the problem with the double op that they were wielding for quite a while, despite Luminosity winning out so many rounds, starting off with the 10-0. Suddenly, I have to say, Liquid looking pretty damn good to get the 10-5 scoreline if they're able to get the next round as well, and if they don't completely get wrecked by some deagle shots, as Yell will be having himself forced out of position by that Molotov.
Yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see how Liquid respond on the CT side because they're going to have to contest with LG on a very individual level, and it looks like LG's individuals are here to play as Nekez finds a massive opening dig onto Elite and another one. Big dig.
What's happening over here, Max? I'm telling you what's happening. Liquid are finally responding. Took them a while to get themselves on the board, but Yella's waiting and ready at the forklift side. Can he get a few more? Yes, he can. The answer's always yes, and he makes it another Nitro. The grenade will be enough to bring him down, but it's a 1v1, and Cello coming in from the truck side might just be able to seal this through. He's got the angle, but the flashbang comes out, blinds him up entirely. Nitro's got to be playing this very, very carefully. Recovers the bomb, picks up the smoke as well. Might be considering getting aggressive ontowards that red box, and he does indeed jump up, but the rotation is there. Kello with the play, coming out towards highway, but look at this Nitro anticipating that, throws out the smoke preemptively, and that's going to be forcing Kello to potentially push through it. The AK is on the ground though, and that's what he picks up to add a little bit more firepower to his name. Nitro has to be playing this very, very carefully, goes all the way over towards that A main side, making a bit of noise, but that might not have been heard by Cello, who is just slowly creeping forward. He has to be the aggressor. He's seen the head, and he will be able to try and go for the defuse. No kit on him, and Nitro's just going to try and boost himself up. It doesn't matter! Cello goes insane in that round, and he's able to find the 1v1 to convert it into a victory. Forget 10-5. Luminosity is here to play. They're here to take this to a 12-3.
Really interesting choice of plant from Nitro. He had all the sort of room in the world to go to the very left-hand side of the bomb site and play the angle game, but he sort of doesn't really plant for himself with his positioning, and Cello's late rotation to highway to pick up the AK isn't really punished. And Nitro also misses his smoke at highway and gives Cello a bit of a gap, so he doesn't actually have to wait behind the smoke. Not a great 1v1 from Nitro at all.
And Liquid perhaps a little bit frustrated as they've gone for the double op setup themselves. It's the last round, so the economic damage doesn't really matter too much. Nekiz is aggressive over on mid. LG have gone back to basics for them as they're going to be getting aggressive. And Nekiz, let's see if he can actually make do with that. But Yell doesn't wait for his teammate. He takes down JDM from up top. Nitro gets the spot, but he will be tagged down to 57. Needs to be careful because he has been the main man for Liquid so far. Look at this, Cello coming in from the other side to back up his teammate. They've got a bit of a crossfire setup, and that will allow them more aggression, but Liquid seem to be posturing themselves for the A site.
Yeah, we'll see what Liquid decide to do here, because this will not be an easy A site to break apart with the counter boost coming out with Cello going over. So there'll be a fast flank, and they actually molly Yell out, which is big. It forces the
But Yell doesn't care.
No, he finds it. That's big, but could be the fast flank coming in from Nekiz.
Now it's all down to the 2 versus 4 that Liquid has. Zeus and Nitro, maybe not the best of players to have in this situation, but Nitro has to stepping up. He's been in the clutch round in the previous one, but this is not the one which he will be able to reclaim himself in. Zeus, what is happening? CZ in hand, but bullets everywhere but in the body. 12-3, Luminosity make a very convincing first half.
That was such a dominant CT half from Luminosity, just like across the board. And we really saw Liquid only find success when they had a bit of momentum after an entry. And like even in that round, like they were so slow to try and get out onto site after they got Yell out of position. And there wasn't even really a lot of flash pressure put onto Yell, even though he was out of position from the molly. So some pretty sloppy stuff from Liquid's T side, actually. So hopefully they can bring it back in the CT side and give us a bit more of a game.
But look at this CT side coming out from them 4 players down in mid. It works out, I suppose, but the bomb plant will be practically forfeit over towards mid, as they will now suddenly decide, you know what, there's also sites other than the mid, huh? The bomb is not planted over there, my friends. And Yell, well, he's got the bomb down, and now it's a retake situation. They perhaps did plan for this, though. Zeus buying up the kit, and he is going to be allowing Elige to actually come in from the vent side as he makes his approach through slowly. JDM as well getting aggressive. They take the double peek out, but JDM, no, you stabbed your friend in the back, and that's not what you wanted to do. Twist and himself are able to get 2 quick shots, and Elige keeps things under control. Now it's all up to PKL to step up in the time of LG's need. He will be able to get the kill, but it's a bit slow, and that means Twist get the shot, but he doesn't have the kit, and that will be the victory for Luminosity.
That's crazy. I guess that's a disadvantage of running that just straight 4 mid setup. That exact reason right there, because B's,
I mean, they would have won the round if JDM hadn't killed Zeus, though.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it was also massive for Elige to find the kill from Vents onto the guy playing back checkers. So that was a pretty chaotic pistol, actually. Could have gone either way throughout the round from a variety of moments.
And as you said, that's the interesting point to note. When you post those 4 players down in mid, you do forfeit the
100%.
bomb plant almost definitely, but Nekiz starting things off a little bit shaky as he does get traded away. Elige Scout will be able to do the job. JDM adds 1 to the tally with the P250, and Cello will be doing the same, or at least attempting to do so, as his attempt will be thwarted by Zeus, who finally steps up with the CZ, and magically Liquid managed to get their first round on the CT side with a 4 spy.
Really sloppy stuff from LG there. They seemed like super just like keen to try and find openings on the T side. Maybe they thought it was an eco coming out from Liquid, didn't expect the 4 spy from them, because really unstructured and sloppy stuff from them right there.
And with that, Liquid, not only do they win that round, they take 2 AKs forward. So Luminosity, as long as they're not able to pull out a miracle eco of their own, then this should be Liquid able to cement a little bit of a jump start into the second half and able to take it forward to potentially what could be looking like a comeback. I mean, they did look set to do quite a bit, as nice little peek out. It will be allowing Cello some map control, but Elige quickly shuts down all control as he gets a shot to the head. It brings him down.
Really nice peek from Cello there, timing his peek with the spray of Elige. That was actually pretty cool, but it doesn't work out for him.
Oh, Showtime. Oh, Showtime, don't do this to Liquid. You did this once already. You got 2 kills. in the round that they needed so desperately. Please don't put them through the same misery.
It'll be interesting here. They have one flash on Yell. Let's see if they use it. He's entering. He should definitely be flashing here, or maybe saving it for the post plant. Because they could do a bit of damage if they're given some space here. LG.
It's all down to Twist.
PKL.
Yell.
Oh my gosh.
No! Oh no! Yell! He's just shot them all down, and it's a 3v1 with JDM having the Thomas, a gun which is really streaky at best at times, and in the hands of JDM, perhaps not the best of chances to actually take this round away, especially now that Yell has revealed his position. JDM,
they're all low though.
able to see him out. That's a flashbang you talked about in the post-plant situation. They are all low indeed, and he has a chance, but they're taking these peaks perfectly. Yell just not revealing his position. Showtime says, I'm here, I'm from coming in from behind, and JDM, goodbye. We don't care if you ecoed us, we're going to do it just back.
Man, that was such a big opening to find. Was it Showtime that found that, or whoever found that opening dig? That was massive, yeah, and that's part of the thing we talk about with these Brazilian sides. They were so cohesive behind that opening pick. They all got out really nicely together, and they didn't need the flash because they were afforded the opening with the deagle. They found it, and they were just so tight with their peaks together. And we also saw that sort of teamwork manifest in the post plan as well.
And now it is a force by coming out from Liquid. Nitro tries to get aggressive, but will be punished by Cello. Elige will be the person to bring things back just a little bit down towards that middle lane. However, things is not quite done yet. If they can recover that gun, then maybe it would be a little bit more interesting. But Nekes is waiting, and he is hungry. Elige will feed him away as he brings things down to a 4 versus 3. That's the rifle out of their hands as well.
We can see as a default just because you can see bombs still at spawn. So LG don't really have a straight plan as of yet. They're looking for picks, looking to posture for map control. And if you're,
they don't seem to need a plan, do they?
No, they're just straight up killing people across the map. But as you're seeing right here, with just PKL walking onto site and finding a casual double entry because that's just okay to do against Liquid. Liquid just seem really deflated, if I'm being honest. But hopefully Twist can at least do something for Liquid in this round.
Well, that something is going to be joining them in the afterlife, as Liquid, while they might be sent out of this, well, they're all practically already out of this tournament, but they might be sent a little bit of extra hate mail from their fans from this one. 15-4 Liquid. Of course, you can make the argument that they do have Zeus, but really, does that warrant a 16, potentially 16-4?
I do not know. This is a rough game of Counter-Strike to watch if you're a fan of Liquid or a fan of good Counter-Strike as a whole, because Liquid are just playing sloppy across the map. And Nitro with a scout, just apparently finding a one-tap scout onto Nekes right there. So we can see Liquid trying out some new sort of roles on the team. Nitro not usually the scout player for Liquid.
I mean, you do what you can to try and win out rounds, but let's see what they can do right now, as Cello has found his way over towards the A site, takes down Nitro. That will be the scout player down, as you mentioned, and he will be able to make it 2 as Twist 3. What is this? Is it a kindergarten counting class? Because it's 1, 2, 3, and it might be 4 coming out, as JDM is all the way down towards that
early
mid-side.
GGs coming out from Twist.
Well, it's for good reason.
For
as
good
JDM
reason, yeah.
will end up taking the fall. With that, 16-4, Luminosity are able to close that one out. Let's quickly head over towards the other screen, because let's be honest, this was a little bit of a massacre, and we don't want to just keep our eyes on that for too long. That being said, we're going to be back very soon. By very soon, I mean a couple of hours for the Group B deciding matches as well. This has been myself, Tea Time, and Max Malit. Gosh, in the game, you can catch me over on twitter.com/GGTeaTime. You can catch him on twitter.com/Max_MELIT. And with that being said, we're going to have to say adieu for today, and we're going to have to say adieu to Liquid as we send them off burning in a bit of a disgraceful manner.